In today's Bitcoin video, we will have a look at the current Bitcoin structure where we think price is going to be heading next. We're going to be naming exact price targets and price levels we are watching and where we are looking for prices to turn around or for them to simply be hit. We will do this with our Elliott wave method. We will also be looking at a liquidation heat map and also, again, as always, some more in-depth data. Now, let us start right into it with the Elliott wave structure. And we will get to the exact price targets and turning points later in the video, so make sure you watch the entire video until the end. But just to recap what we think has happened. We think a wave 3 has topped on the 17th of December. And by the way, this scenario, like you see on the chart, these yellow arrows, they have been on the chart for weeks. So we have been quite right with our analysis so far. And now we are at a very important turning point. What we think has happened is that we've seen a wave A to the downside, a wave B to the upside, and are now in a wave C to the downside. And yes, I am not saying that the wave C has finished yet because we simply don't know. We know that the wave B has probably finished, but the wave C has this entire support region here to basically, well, grow or expand or, well, in this case, retrace. And what exactly we are watching for and what exactly is going to happen next year, I will go into in a second. First, let us look at the liquidation heat map. And this is on CoinGlass. This is the one I usually use for Bitcoin. I think it is the best one. What you can see here is that a reason for this, well, rather fast dip that we've seen here was this big pocket of liquidations that have been building up basically since end of November. Now, if we look at the chart, there is a bigger liquidity cluster here at around 74,000. There is still some liquidity left here between 88 and, well, 85,000. Remember those numbers for later in the video. They are important. We will get to them again. And also 103K and also the all-time high at 109,000. So what we can see from this here is that there is some liquidity that is being built up on the upside that is fairly new. All of this is new, has been taken out, yes, but this is new, this is new, this is, well, relatively new, all of this coming in new. If you want to know, by the way, how to analyze this heat map yourself, we have an entire section on that in our trading transformation system. So if you're interested in that, check out our website. It's the first link in the description. Now, again, I will still explain it in full detail in this video. Don't worry, all that you need to know. But for now, looking at the liquidation heat map, let us just remember some price clusters above us, some reasons for market makers to turn prices around and to send us higher. Also still some reasons to go a bit lower. Now, let's look at this. And as I always say, do not be confused by what you see here. It is actually quite simple. I'll explain it. What you see in the uppermost area is the price. And we'll just take it from the local low because that is usually where things are easily comparable across the board with all of these other indicators here. Price has gone up, quite simple line, yes? So what is the next thing? Open interest. Open interest, as I say, I explain this I think every video, but maybe it's still useful for someone. Open interest is the cumulated amount of leveraged positions which are open in the market. So that means longs and shorts combined. What we can see? Prices increased, open interest decreased. What does this tell you? Well, the market has not been heating up. The market is actually cooling down. There's less high leveraged or leveraged positions in total in the market, which is good because that is basically a reason for markets to not do any sort of hasty movements. There will not be liquidation wicks to the downside most likely or to the upside. It's probably a steady move until we see some change in that. By the way, this is not financial advice, it's just our opinion. The next things are just spot volume, both of these, spot volume. For now, they are quite irrelevant because, well, as you can see, nothing has happened in spot volume at all. This is crazy little volume. Nothing is happening. Also because this weekend has quite some important catalysts and the Wall Street and so on investors are probably waiting so they don't, well, basically get wrecked by some sort of announcement that's made this week. They're just waiting until after the announcements are made. What we can also see is the funding. And this is, again, a very important thing. Let's go to the local low, start at the same point, go up. Funding has been only slightly, but it has increased. What does this mean? Total open interest going down, funding going up. It means less shorts are in the market since this point compared to now, and more longs are in the market. What does that mean? Well, again, looking at the liquidation heat map, there's more liquidity to the downside, which might need to get taken out. So this data basically tells us to conclude all of it is there is nothing major going on. There is no need for liquidity flush. There's nothing overheating, but more longs than shorts. So tendency that we probably go a bit lower in our opinion. Let us get to the last part of the video, and that is looking at what we think prices are going to do next. The exact point we are watching here is basically this support zone. I will circle it for you here, this white support zone. This is what we're watching out for here, and prices have to go into support zone for a reversal, and they have already. You're right in that. But we assume that prices will go deeper in the support zone. We are watching for now that prices go lower from this point, and yes, from this pump even, prices go even lower into the support box, and this is also where our long position order is sitting with a lower leverage somewhere between 2 to 3, where we will be buying back and entering the market. Now, you may ask yourself now, well, I mean, what if the prices just don't go down there and we continue going upwards from here, because we have already hit the support zone, which is true. And it is, in theory, it is possible that we turn around. We do not need, and this is important, we don't need with this structure to make another low. It's just not necessary. We have made the necessary low. From here, we can turn around. Well, the alternative is basically, and we cannot give any exact price targets we're watching here for because, well, you just can't so far. But assuming this was the low, which we don't primarily think it is, but is a good secondary alternative, which is not unlikely, that we see something like this, a wave 1, and then we will, how high this will go, we can't say now, we just have to observe. A wave 2 to the downside, a wave 3, 4, 5. Now, if we build out a 5-wave move to the upside, we know that this ABC correction has finished, and that is basically our confirmation to, well, then do not enter down here. To conclude this, will look something like this. We will see this price action, and then we will see again a wave ABC, and then we will enter somewhere here. Of course, this is not exact prices. Do not look at the price. Just look at the how we think the structure would play out in that scenario. So yeah, so now you're prepared for, in case we don't go lower, looking for you know what we're looking out for. In case we do go lower, you know what support box we are watching for prices to go into. Our invalidation is below 80,000. If we break 80,000, the next support box is here between 71 and 61,000. That is immensely low. If we break 61, I've said this in the past video, I think the bear market has probably started, and then we're in for a huge correction. Yes, that was it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in our trading transformation system, weekly live market analysis, and more, check out our website. It's the first link in the description. With that enough said, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.